Yup. Hop on in. We got a nice little Monday day action today. That's the beauty of the MLB this season. We actually have day games on Mondays. They didn't do that last year. So you better not take this for granted. This is beautiful that we actually get to have MLB day game action. Don't take it for granted. Got full slate up on SoBet. We're about to talk a little bit. Max, what's good? We are about to, yeah, we're about to chat a little bit about some banger plays we have coming up. Also, would love to know what people have in tonight's March Madness for the women today. Iowa LSU. Tristan, yo, how you doing? Good to see you in here. So the video I posted most recently is the over in the Rockies Cubs game. Love it, Chris. Little lunch break action, lock in some action. Yeah, I'm happy you're here, Tristan. We're here daily. I'm going to be live 12:30 Eastern time, Monday through Friday. That's going to be the standard stream time. We'll do other stuff. We'll do games. We'll do weekends, etc. But 12:30 on Mondays. Look for me here. See Otani's not suspended for gambling for the rest of the season and next year's season. I didn't see that, Kyle. That feels like a little bit of a April 1st type behavior coming from you. And I'm not the type of guy that needs April Fools to tell a lie to the internet. Every day is my April Fool's Day. Harper over 0.5 hits today. I don't know. Did you see that play yesterday? There's a chance he's a little bit banged up. You saw him go over the railing. I wonder, since that line's so low, I wonder if there's a chance that he's like a little bit banged up, or they're expecting that, or maybe like, you know, he warms up but then he doesn't play, or something like that. Otherwise, I'd say yeah, I'd take that action at minus 140 or better action. Sox don't have a chance hammering the over 7 and the Braves. Love it, Max. Yeah. Yeah, we love those plays as well. The Braves minus 1.5 is that's still pretty juicy. That's like minus 170. That's how strong a favorite they are today. Yeah, I love the over in the Rockies Cubs game just because, people overreact to win. This was the same we had the over in the Phillies Braves game a few days ago. It was over 7. There were like 13 runs in the game. People overreact to win. Wind is a part of the game. Wind swirls. Wind comes and goes. I know it can be windy and it feels like no one's scoring this game. I played baseball in Chicago for my entire college career in March. We played February games even. We played in March. We played in April. Barely played in May. That's just how the college season goes. I know how the wind goes. I know how impactful it is. And it's not like nothing, but it's not as big a deal as people make it out to be. Now we've got 2 pitchers on shorter leashes. The Rockies starter, what's his face? He's not good at all. He has limited experience, so maybe we'll see some growth, but he's not good at all. His K rate, 45 Ks, 81 innings. That's brutal. 1.5 whip. Brutal. The Cubs' offense is decent. Now they're throwing Imanaga for the Cubs, which is his MLB debut, his American MLB debut. There's an adjustment there. There's an adjustment to happen. He'll probably be on a shorter leash. So then we get to the bullpen. The bullpen, it's 4 straight days. 4 straight days. They're a little bit tired. There's just a lot of small factors that contribute to this game going over. Nats, money line, we like that. 6 God, we like that a lot. Blue Jays crush yesterday. Yeah, that was free. Brewers win the World Series. That'd be great. 5th day in a row with travel. Baseball coach, tell me why you think the tiredness leans under as opposed to over. I'm not chirping you. I'm just curious. Down super bad after Houston and Duke. Sorry, bro, that sucks. Mets money line, Max. I hope so. I'm staying away from it, but I hope so. Finally, we need that. Yeah, yeah. We like Nats money line. This is a good spot for them. I like to hear that you're on that naturally already. This is definitely a good spot for Nats money line. Nerfies today. I mean, for kicks, you could go the early game Nerfy, but I don't have a strong. What's the fade for today, the kid? I'll tell you what I'm on. The first play that I gave out, the play that I made a video about, if you want to see the deeper description, but it's over 7 in the Rockies Cubs game. Early game, Chicago going to get played. Looks like rain. I mean, if they don't play, they don't play. We'll see about that. But Braves or White Sox money line. I mean, money line. There's no value in Braves money line. I do like the Braves, but the Braves are actually minus 1.5. You can go, and this is all right. The plays are up on SoBet. I'm giving you this one for free because someone asked about it. Braves or White Sox. Give me Braves minus 1.5 plus Braves team total over 4.5. You're going to get minus 110 on that. That's better than taking Braves minus 2.5, which you would have had to do. So basically, the Braves need to score 5 runs and win by 2, which, I mean, that pretty much goes hand in hand, especially with the style of play the Braves have. Braves White Sox total score over under 9. Leave that alone, Caleb. Braves team total over 4.5 plus Braves -1.5. Same game parlay. How do you feel about the O's game? Yes, MB. Yes. Braves will dominate. Absolutely. Braves money line, Cubs money line, Acuna Jr. 1+ hit. What do you think? Plus 129. That's not bad. I'm not a huge parlay guy, but I think you got decent value on that. Phillies money line, Braves money line, locks. Phillies money line is never going to be a lock. So I don't mind 2-leg favorite money lines in MLB. I don't hate it. I'm not a big parlay guy, but like a 2-leg. The thing about MLB though is like, they say any given Sunday in NFL. That's not true. In baseball, it is any given any day because you get a hold of one. All it takes is a strong breeze to change a game. Thoughts like Cunha Jr. home run? I'm never gonna take home run props. They're fun, but there's never actual value on it. Orioles. Let me look at the Orioles game in a second. We'll dive into that a little bit. How about them Yankees 6 out? Hey, that was my World Series pick. Off to a hot start. If Garrett Cole comes back strong, I'm not hating on the Phillies. I'm just saying there's no we don't believe in freebies in the MLB. That's all. I mean, there are some spots. There are some brutal pitchers. There was a moment last season when everyone was fading Alek Manoah on the Blue Jays when he had just the worst start ever to the season. That was kind of beautiful. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, there's no freebies. There's occasional fades on brutal pitching. But aside from that, I'm not a big believer in freebies. What MLB bets have the most value? Moneyline dogs and team totals. Team totals can be pretty strong. Moneyline just in general. So people think oh, you can lay the juice in MLB. MLB is about volume. Yes, you're going to miss some money lines that are -160, and you don't want to do a lot of that. But if you're taking -160s, obviously this applies to any sport, but it's most valid in MLB because you can get the highest value. If you're taking -160s in MLB, you just have to win 2 out of 3 of those, which is not the easiest thing in the world, but you have to win 2 out of 3 of those. So you have to, if it's -160, play it if you think it should be -180, if you think you're getting value. So the only way to really analyze and understand if you have value is understanding the pitching matchup, how the pitchers stack against the individual lineups, how the pitchers stack relative to how they're being valued, and then freshness of the bullpen. And people say, well, Vegas factors this in too. Yes, they do. But the public, they are not setting a line that people are supposed to miss. They're setting a line that induces public action at a highest volume possible, and they try to balance the book, and they take their juice. So the public can move it. And I know there's not as much volume on MLB games for heavy fade the public motion in terms of Vegas wants this, right? But it's a small enough market that they can still move lines. And when lines move, there's always a value. Your mom says, Braves. We like Braves -1.5 plus over 4.5. Married man, appreciate the follow. Go ahead and follow me. Be like married man. Is that the first follow this live? What are you guys doing? How are you here and you're not following? We got picks up every single day. We got a full slate on my SoBet every single day. If you're not involved, I question your sanity. Purdue is the pick, not Tennessee. Oh, good pick. Good pick the day after the game. You know what? If I had the final score, if I could look at the final score, I'd also never miss a pick either. Good job. AJ Rod, Mark Ripley, appreciate the follows. Be like AJ and Mark, and go ahead and follow me. All right, so we got Braves -1.5 plus over 4.5 team total. That's a 2-leg SGP. You're right, KJ. I hear you. Whatever. Cubs money line. Yeah, Cubs money line is decent. I don't love it as much. Morning MLB play. My favorite play today, the one I posted, is is going to be the over in the Cubs Rockies game. That starts at 2:20 Eastern. So we got about an hour and a half until that. Real Maddie. Yeah, it's the over in the Rockies Cubs game. People are scared of the wind. I understand it. 7 is too low, especially on pitchers on short leash, especially with teams with power. Okay, it's windy. It's also wild. People are dropping fly balls. People are walking. What's the street bike you ride? Alex, is this a setup? I don't understand. What's -215, JT? So yeah, we like the over 7. Do I like LSU today? I mean, I don't really have a lean on that. I'm taking Iowa. I'm rooting for Iowa, but I don't really have one. Raining and cold. Everyone's talking about weather. I understand. Hate going against conditions, but it's 7. It's over 7. Do you like Braves and Phillies today? I don't think there's a ton of value on that. I do like them both individually. I just don't think there's a ton of value if you're doing 2-leg money line. Wind is blowing straight into home plate, 13 miles an hour. 13 miles an hour isn't even that crazy. Also, wind. Do I ride street bikes? Like a motorcycle? No, I ride like a bicycle, or like a. I'll get around New York in like a. Excuse me. I'll get around New York on like an e-bike. when I'm doing a meetup at Yankee Stadium, if I get enough people like in the Discord or something, somewhere that's like as opposed to commenting in the live, enough people in the Discord say they want to do it, I'll 100% do that on like the first nice home game. So probably May. But if people do it in the live, it's like we can't track that, we can't organize whatever. So if people hit me up in the Discord and want to do that, I'm 100% down. Yeah, we'll just go to like a nice, ideally day game in May. Ideally a game Garrett Cole's pitching when he's back. But whatever, we find a fun game, go hang out, have some beers and dogs. Have Red Bets Yankees money line just for kicks. I would love that. Braves first 5 money line. I would rather take Braves over 4.5, and I would parlay it with Braves minus 1.5. Nice 2-leg SGP that really works together well. Mets for World Series. I wish, bro. Blue Jays money line. Not touching that game today. Have I always been based in New York? I'm from Buffalo originally. I've been in New York for the last 7 years almost. 2017. How do I feel about Nerfies? Not often a lot of value, but sometimes we find them. Or sometimes they're a very fun bet. You just want some quick action on a day game. That's what Nerfies are good for. Cubs nerf. Just because I have the over in the game, I don't want to weight it with the Nerfie. Also, I don't think there's good value on the Nerfie. I think it could hit, but I don't think there's good value. See, minus 135 is too much. Red Sox minus 1.5. I haven't really looked at that game. Who's on the mound on both those? How'd Duke do yesterday? Brutal. What am I sipping? This is just iced coffee black. I get like the pods from Commenteer. Here's the thing. I keep saying this. I've been like, Commenteer, sponsor me. They're all over my Instagram. They got me with the targeted ads, and it's actually fire. It's the only subscription that I actually like. But like, can they? I'm here on my stream every single day. Everyone always says, "What are you sipping?" And I always say, "It's the Commenteer black coffee." Commenteer, at least send me this for free. But for real, go get it. And when you get it, put in the subject line, say, Pick 'em Petey told me. I like under 7.5, too, for Cubs. I don't like it. I like over 7. Pirates money line. Huck versus Boyle. I don't know about minus 1.5 with the Red Sox, though. I only like taking minus 1.5 on teams whose offense I really trust. That's my biggest issue here. Yo, shout out to anyone who's on the Twitch right now, by the way. We're live on the Twitch and the YouTube. Once we hit 150 on Twitch, I'm giving away $200. KJSJ Hayden in here. Braves minus 1.5 plus Braves over 4.5. Favorite play of the day? It's probably that one. Braves minus 1.5 plus Braves team total over 4.5. But I do like the over 7 in the Cubs Rockies game. Pirates and minus 1.5 Braves. I feel like the Pirates are gonna falter this game, to be totally honest. Orioles money line. All right, let's look at Orioles game. Let's see. Because I didn't really look at that one too deep. Main lock today. What are we doing? The over 7 in the Rockies Cubs game is my quote unquote main lock. But for baseball, I really advise. See, I put all my plays up on SoBet every day. I really say take all 3 plays, all 5 plays, whatever it is on a given day. I like Nets money line more than the over in that game. I said Braves team total over 4.5. Same game parlay with Braves minus 1.5. Cubs money line is okay, but I prefer the over 7. There's not a lot of value on Cubs money line. So anyway, with baseball, I always say like I put up 3 to 5 plays on SoBet. Take all of them. We try to win the day. All right, Orioles, Royals. It's Kramer on the mound against Waka. I do like Kramer, especially as a young guy. I think there's room for growth from what I saw last year. He was coming on pretty strong in the second half of the season. So I'm excited to see what he does this year. I definitely think that there's value on Kramer in this game. Waka, we don't know too much about him. Let me refresh myself on his stats from last year. All right, so last year he threw 134 innings, K'd 124. His WHIP was 116. Those aren't bad numbers. 116 is about where you want to be as a starting pitcher. It's not fantastic, but it's good. Royals are 0-14 when coming off a shutout. How's that for a stat? That's a fun stat, but it's irrelevant. All right, so 124 strikeouts and 134. Again, slightly below average, but with a 116 whip, we could take that. He just doesn't. I don't know. Now, Kramer I do like a lot, but he can get into trouble walking people. I just don't think the Royals have the depth of the lineup. I would lean Orioles. I would take Orioles at minus 135 or better on the money line. That's probably where I'd value this game. Yes, Al Hoots, let's have another big year on baseball. Let's do it. Iffy about Astros versus Blue Jays money line. Yeah, I'm staying away from that game as a whole. I don't have a really strong lean. Dude from the A's is going to shove today. Who's throwing for the A's today? Cubs money line, Braves money line, Orioles money line, Dodgers money line. I don't know about all that. I mean, I don't hate any of those plays. It's just too many legs. Too many legs. Someone's going to get you. Your main lock is Cubs over. Yes. Yeah, Santiago, like I said, quote unquote main lock, sure. But in MLB, we're never going to have insane confidence on a given play. We have good confidence on a bunch of plays. So I always say tail the whole batch. I got the plays up on SoBet every single day. I say tail the whole batch. Your call. I do like the Cubs over. That's the play we put out today. I'm confident in it. Go get it. But I like to have 1 to 2 units of play, 3 to 5 plays a day. Pirates in Washington over 8.5. I prefer just taking Nats money line. Rangers money line, they got good bats. Rangers do have excellent bats. Excellent bats as always. Any thoughts on your future pick? Yankees still World Series champs. I love the Yankees and Orioles. Yeah, so we got Yankees as World Series champs at plus 800. I obviously still like that play. Great start to the season. I was hoping they would pick up Snell, but I really like their lineup with or their rotation with Stroman and Garrett. Assuming Garrett Cole comes back and he's fine, he should be back by the end of the month. So I still like that. I think at the end of April or at some point in May, we'll probably add in another future. But yeah, we'll see. Nats first 5, get in, get out. I hear that, but the Pirates bullpen is not great, so I like full game money line even better. Yanks ain't winning. Do I like Pittsburgh money line? No, I don't. I like Nats actually. Yanks. I mean, it's easy to say fade the World Series pick. It's easy to say that, but I do think there's good value on them this year. I think they're underrated. And then there's a lot of like so-called experts saying the Yankees might not make the playoffs. Like, I get. Does everyone have to be Emmanuel Acho? Does everyone have to be a clickbaiter? Can you actually have like a real read or real reason for what you're saying, or just say something provocative? I get it. I do TikTok. I do clickbait titles. I do clickbait hooks on my opening to get people to watch. I get it. I understand. But do you have to just have horrible takes for the sake of views? Really? Yankees won't even make the playoffs? Some like whatever Fangraphs was it, projected them to win like 69.5 games this year. Get the fuck out of town. Their over-under win total by Vegas is 89.5. If you project them at 69.5 when the line by Vegas is at 90.5, bet your entire life on the under. I'm not kidding. If you're telling me there is that big a gap on a full season total, it's not like some game where there can be a fluke. You're telling me there's a 22-game gap in your projection and their projection. Shut your mouth or bet everything you've ever owned on it. I'm sorry. Otherwise, you're just saying it for clicks. Braves minus 1.5 plus Braves over 4.5 team total. Davidson, cash up plus 4,300. Good for you, bro. Appreciate the follow, Davidson. Be like Davidson. See, he follows me, makes big money. That's the kind of person you could be. Do you think wind in Wrigley will affect the over? Yeah, but not enough. I still like the over 7. Obviously, wind doesn't impact, but wind changes directions. Wind moves around. Wind stops and goes. People are always like, wind, wind, wind. I said this before, but I played baseball in Chicago throughout my entire college career, which is spring. We're talking March, April is the bulk of the season, a little bit of May. I know what it's like to play in the wind out there. I know what it's like to play baseball in shitty weather. And obviously the wind matters, the weather matters, but it's not like that. It's not to that extent. White Sox plus money get 2 runs. I still don't like it. Give me Braves minus 1.5 plus Braves over team total over 4.5. Yanks fan, but D-backs money line tonight. I'm staying away from that game. Any other games people want me to look at specifically? We talked about the plays I have. Plus has no job. This is it, baby. This is what we do. Soto over 0.5 hits. What value are you getting on that? We consistently see what happens when teams try to stack with stars. Yeah, but in baseball, it actually does work. I mean, I understand the Royals won last year, but like they had stars. The stars just were underrated because the team was less known. Like you're telling me Seager's not a star? Young's not a star? What's his face? The World Series MVP, not a star. You got one favorite play. If it hits, I'm following SoBet. Give me the over in the Rockies game. Red Sox money line or A's money line thoughts. The A's money line might be value on a sprinkle. Tell that to the Dodgers. I hear that, Dubs, but you're also, if your standard is winning the World Series, you can't be like, well, this is a bad indicator of how teams work when they stack with starts because they didn't win the World Series. Because even the Braves and the Dodgers, even the Dodgers, as stacked as they are, it's still 4-1 for them to win the World Series. Let's go, Darren. Get it. How do I feel about Dodgers today? I always feel pretty good about Dodgers. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, so again, when you're talking about winning a World Series, winning a Super Bowl, whatever, your standard for a team success can't be that. It can't. Obviously, we're picking a World Series winner, so that's the only way to win this bet. But I'm just saying, we're trying to find the best of value. I'm never going to tell you this team has a better than 50% chance of winning the World Series in April. I'm never going to tell you that because the Dodgers are as stacked as any team ever has been, and still 4-1. But I think the Yankees have the best value. And I do, like, if I had to pick a team to win it this year, I think it's them because of the depth of their pitching rotation and their bullpen. That's what gets you through games in October. Reliable pitching. I know the Dodgers are theoretically deep on the pitching, and maybe there's a prayer Ohtani's pitching at that point. But they got too many people who let them down. Baseball coach, appreciate the follow. Be like baseball coach, follow Petey. How's that pitcher Imanaga for the Cubs? So he's never thrown a game in the MLB. It's just that there's usually an adjustment period for pitchers coming from Japan. I know he had the offseason. Eduardo, appreciate the follow. I know that he had spring training, but there's still an adjustment period. In terms of the atmosphere, in terms of literally the baseball is slightly different. And just in terms of the feel of the game in that situation, he's probably going to be on a shorter leash, which means we get to the bullpen earlier. The bullpen, who's been pitching for 4 straight days, no days off. These are the things you have to consider. You watch Yamamoto, absolutely disastrous first MLB outing coming over from Japan. There's a difference. It changes. CB, appreciate the follow. Be like CB, be like Eduardo. Go ahead, follow me. If you're in here and you're not following, I'm not going to come to your house and be like, what the hell's wrong with you? But I want to. Let's get it rolling, Rizzy. Let's go. P. Cook, appreciate the follow. Anyway, I'm posting MLB season. People know MLB season. You can track it all season long. We run it up. We know what we're doing. No one's doing better analysis for MLB season picks. Nobody's more locked in. Nobody's having better live stream sweats during MLB season. If you're betting on MLB this season and you're not following me, you're wrong. Been riding Dodgers team total 4-0 so far. Last 2 were sweaty. Yo, good for you, Monk. Any big names with no home run yet? Ohtani is absolutely due. He looks a little rusty. I would imagine the whole gambling scandal and whatnot is like weighing on him, hitting baseball as a whole, hitting especially. It's a super mental game. I would imagine he took a couple hacks in that game against the Cards where he popped out to end the game in OT or in extras. But I think he's just going to make the adjustment soon. I imagine his routine's a little off. I imagine, new team, big scandal just happened, adjusting to the beginning of the season, all that. Rodney at day one. I remember you. Appreciate it. Let's get it. Thoughts on Pirates versus Nats versus White Sox versus. I like Nats. I like Braves -1.5, and I like Braves over 4.5 team total on a 2-leg lay. The Braves same game parlay is 1, and then the Nats money line is another. Rockies money line, Royals money line, Reds money line. Rockies not hitting. Reds maybe. Royals maybe. I lean O's. You might have more value on the Royals. I do like Waka, but I like Dean Kremer. I do like Dean Kremer. The Royals' only hope, I think, to get to him is if they can get him walking guys, which definitely happens at him. He's definitely a walking risk, and shorter pitch count might come out early. That bullpen's okay. I think you have an opportunity there. So I don't hate the value on the Royals money line. I'm personally staying away from that. Weather's bad in Chicago right now. The weather's bad. That's factored in. Like, if the weather was good, I might take over 8.5, but I'm taking 7. Pitt money line, they're hot. I don't believe in hot in MLB. Because every single game is different. Yeah, you get a couple hitters who are on point for sure, but there's so much variance in baseball. You could be seeing the ball great, but you're 0 for 3 with 2 lineouts and a deep flyout. You could be seeing the ball terribly, but you got, a couple bloop singles. So when you see, like, this guy's been hitting strong, it's like, have they really? Like, are they squaring balls up consistently? Are they seeing the ball well? Or they've been hot. Okay, but the last 3 days were against righties. Now they're facing the lefty. You could say this team's hot, really, but the last 2 pitchers just had amazing starts. And that's why they won 2 in a row. And now you have a brand new pitcher on the mound. So I don't really believe in hot in baseball. Hitters can get hot. Yeah, but there's so much variance from game to game. Pitchers are different every single game. You have to start fresh every single game. Braves on run line today. Braves -1.5 plus Braves team total over 4.5. Lindell, appreciate the follow. Be like Lindell. James, appreciate the likes. So yeah, with like in terms of stuff that you look at in other sports, you have to treat baseball like a different animal because it's a different pitcher on the game in the game every single game. The most important player in the game for both teams is different from game to game. That's a simple fact. We know this, but people don't understand the significance of that. It's not just a different pitcher. Is this pitcher better than the last pitcher? It's how's this pitcher been lately? How deep do we expect him to go into this game? How fresh is the bullpen? Not just how good is this pitcher, how good is this pitcher against the hitters on this team? Is he a lefty against a bunch of lefties? Is he a righty against a bunch of lefties? Is he a righty that throws really well against righties? Is he a guy that throws a lot of breaking stuff against a team that generally hits breaking stuff poorly? Is he a fastball guy against a team that doesn't hit the fastball well? It's not just, is this pitcher good? Are these hitters good? It's how does this pitcher, this game, stack up against these hitters on this team? That's what you need to look at. It's not, well, this pitcher's an 8 to 10 and that pitcher's a 7 to 10. I'm going to take the 8 to 10. Is this pitcher going to be a 7 to 10 against this team? A 6 to 10, a 9 to 10? Generally speaking. And how deep in the game is he going to go? Okay, he's going to probably be a 7 to 10, but he's also going to be on kind of a tight pitch count, so we're probably only going to get 5 from him. And this bullpen is tired right now. This closer's gone 3 games in a row. He's probably not an option. So that bullpen that you think is an A- is really a B- today. Jack Banlock, appreciate the follow. Do I play pickleball? Every once in a while. It's fun. Astros money line, don't hate it. Red Sox money line, I like it. Baseball's the only sport I can't happen. It's very hard to be good at because there's so many things you need to lock in on. But if you do a good amount of volume on plays where you have value, I think in the long term you can win. Last year, like I said, we did a 6% ROI last year. If you're following my SoBet, which you should be, we post all the picks on SoBet every single day. Last year we did a 6% ROI. And what that looked like was winning 57, 58% of the play. Some of them with some juice. It's not like NFL where everything's a spread minus 110. You're doing a minus 140. You're doing a plus 130. You're doing a minus 160. There's a big range, and we average a little bit more than minus 110. So that's why we need to be 57, 58% as opposed to 53% like you would be with football or basketball. Over 9 Blue Jays, Nerfy, Baltimore. Sure. Swanson Bryant hit. Sure. We do props up. I got props on SoBet every single day, but I more do pitching props. I think those are the more reliable stats because, taking someone over on hits, it's hard to factor in. They might get walked a couple times. You might get a bloop single. You might get a line out. You can't because the analysis only gets you so far. Your analysis can figure out how likely maybe a batter is to square balls up when they're thrown to. But you can't really factor in how much they're going to be thrown to because you don't know what situations they're going to be up in. And you don't know what's going to happen when they square that ball up. Is it going to be a deep fly out? Is it going to be a line out? Is it going to be a base knock? So doing over on bases is far more difficult than saying, well, a pitcher strike out more than 5.5 because, he might be going deeper into the game given the status of the bullpen, given how much the coach lets him run. You might know, well, this team strikes out more often. This team fares poorly against sliders, whatever. So doing pitching props is much more reliable. The day Pete drops a home run parlay, I'll do a flip off my roof. Maybe we'll do something for like the All-Star break or something. Swanson Bryant, both for just a hit. Did you not hear anything I said? Go for it. Today's games are trash all the way to NBA. LSU versus Iowa women's. I like Iowa from a scripted perspective. I don't have deep game analysis on that, but I feel like the league would prefer an Iowa dub. The LSU dynasty, you've gotten what you can from it. I think Caitlin Clark going to a ship is more important to the league, so I think they're going to lean that way. That's the extent of my analysis. Keep seeing LSU money line everywhere, bro. Barely have any coin left after DJ Burr. I prefer. All right, now I'm seeing Meyer on the mound. Is it Luzardo or Meyer? This is the April 1st game. Okay, now I'm seeing Meyer on the mound. That's a different story. Against Silseth, which, he's inconsistent. Yeah, Meyer is on the mound. I must have looked at tomorrow's game. Okay, let's take a look. I don't know too much about Meyer. Let me break down his stats a little bit and see how I feel. Raise money line. God, why MLB.com, the site is just trash right now. What are we doing? It's brutal. Here's the thing. I would probably lean over in that game more than anything because Silseth is all over the place. The Angels bullpen is not great. The Angels have some hitters, even though they haven't really been putting it together. I don't know much about Meyer. I know he's their 5. I know he's unproven. And Silseth has had some good games, but I think he's inconsistent. I think he locates poorly. I haven't seen him like put together like a lot of strong games. He can strike people out, absolutely. Um, but he's also prone to walking people. Yeah, I mean only you say take Angels. I say take over more than anything. I'm not saying this is a play that I love, but if you're just doing like a knee jerk reaction read on this game and I had to pick a play, I would take the over. But yeah, I would probably take Marlins if I had to take a team. Braves minus 2.5. I would take Braves minus 1.5, and I would same game parlay it with Braves team total over 4.5. That's just going to be better value and more likely to hit. Because Braves minus 2.5, like they're probably giving up 2 runs, you know. So then either your minus 1.5 gives wiggle room for 3. You need 5 to win anyway. If they're not getting 5, do you really feel confident in them winning minus 2.5? I know it's Fried on the mound. He definitely could keep them low, but the only way you're getting better value on minus 2.5 if the game is 4-1, 3-0, or 4-0. Those are the only score combinations where you're getting more likelihood to have the Braves minus 2.5. Cubs under 7, smaller play than Rays money line. I like the over in that game. What's the lock for today? I like the over 7 in Cubs Rockies, and I like the Braves team total over 4.5. Same game parlay with Braves minus 1.5. I would prefer Cubs money line. LSU wins or not. I don't have a strong lean in that game, but I like Iowa. And then I also like Nationals money line. So I told you, like I said, the picks are up on Sobet, but these are the 3 plays. I know. Bad weather in Chicago. Baseball games have been played in bad weather before. I know it's a factor. We're considering that factor. We might not see fly balls getting over the yard. Does over under 7 seem like a trap? No. There's not really traps in MLB like that. It's not, nothing's automatic and things happen, especially in baseball, but like I like the over. Gonna have to be manufactured. I think that's fine. The Cubs are great at manufacturing. Also, the Rockies love to walk people. Do you know which pitcher is better in the Mariners game? I haven't looked at that matchup. Give me 1 second. In Chicago, cloudy, cold. Who am I on Sobet? I'm picking Petey, Tim. I'm picking Petey on Sobet. Go ahead, follow my action on there. We got all the plays are up today already. All right, what was the game you were asking about? Coco, appreciate the follow. Be like Coco. All right, Garrett's Mariners. Oh, who's a better pitcher in the Mariners game? It's Casillas on the mound. He's like a top 5 pitcher in the MLB. Bieber's nice. He can have a good game, but Castillo's nasty. Castillo's maybe a top 2 strikeout pitcher in the MLB. And he's a hoss. He can go deep into games. I always wanted to hit a 2 home run parlay. So crazy to predict a home run. Yeah, that would be bonkers. Royals money line. Staying away from that game, but I don't hate the play. Like a half unit to a unit. Rockies will have to get 2-run minimum to go over. I think Rockies can get 2-run minimum. I also think Cubs can get 7. Just signed up for Sobet. Let's go, Road Rage. Let's get it. Tomorrow over 5.5 assists today. Don't have a strong one. Duke was a great pick, yeah. To be fair, Bieber had 11 strikeouts. No, Bieber's good. Bieber's good. I don't like he's a legit ace, but Luis Castillo is nasty. I think, I haven't looked at the line, but the under might be the play there. The Nerfy might be the play there. Low scoring stuff. Now, Castillo has had some games where he gets into trouble, throws 30 pitches in an inning, walks a couple guys because he loves to throw that changeup in the dirt. And sometimes he's just whiffing everyone. Sometimes he's missing by a bit and can't locate. He's going up in the zone with the fastball. So he can be a little bit wild and erratic, but he goes deep into games. Their bullpen's decent. The Guards are okay as a hitting team, but below average. Bieber's really nice, and the Mariners don't have a ton of great hitting. They got, what's his face, Rodriguez. Anyone beating UConn men's? Absolutely not. Castillo isn't playing. I mean, I haven't seen an update that says he's not, but if he's not, that's different. But I'm looking at the game preview right now on MLB.com. It says Luis Castillo against Shane Bieber. You know, you're right. That's April 2nd. That's tomorrow. Mackenzie and Hancock. All right. Different story then. Scratch that. I don't have a strong lean in terms of Mackenzie versus Hancock, but I would probably say Mackenzie. Do we talk about the Pitt game? Yeah, I like Nats. Braves going off today. Give me Braves team total over 4.5. Same game parlay with -1.5 on the run line. Paxton 6Ks. I think that's valid. I'm a little reticent on K props early in the season when pitchers are on tighter leashes, but I don't hate it. Shohei for 1.5 bases. It's tough because he gets walked so much, but I think this could be a good opportunity today. Anything on this game? On O's game? No, I'm staying away. I think there's slight value on Royals. I don't know what the line is on the game. I would take O's at -130 or better. If it's worse than that, I might take Royals because I definitely like Kramer over Waka, but Kramer can get into trouble when he's wild, which definitely happens, and Waka's nice. Jack Boyd, appreciate the follow. Be like Jack Boyd. So again, before we get off, I'm gonna run through the plays. I have up on SoBet today for the day. But again, if you want them, picks go up on SoBet every single day. Redash, appreciate the follow. If everyone can run up the likes and go ahead and follow me as a expression of gratitude for these plays I'm about to share, I would appreciate that. Jack, appreciate the follow. B, appreciate the follow. Let's run through. I've been talking about them all day today throughout this live, so hopefully some of you got that. Road Rage, appreciate the follow. But here's what we got. Tim, appreciate the follow. Tommy, appreciate the follow. Mason, appreciate the follow. All you doing the right thing. We got Cubs, Rockies, over 7 total runs. This is -120 on all the books. 1.2 units to win 1. Sherman, appreciate the follow. This is Imanaga's first MLB start after signing with the Cubs. He was great in Japan, but there's a learning curve. There's an adjustment period. We saw it with Yamamoto. We've seen it with a lot of guys. He's probably going to be on a tighter leash and not go deep into the game. The Cubs bullpen has been pitching for 4 straight days. It's 5 straight days. They're a little bit tired. You're going to see a lower level of performance in those situations. I understand there's wind. I understand it's not as easy power in this game, but that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting the Cubs to carry the offense, and then I'm expecting the Cubs to do weaker offensively or defensively, and then be able to put up offensive numbers because we are facing a weak Rockies pitching staff and a weak Rockies bullpen. There's really no strong spot on the Rockies defensively. And in terms of manufacturing runs in a game where you're not going to have as much power because of the wind, the Cubs are very strong at that. So I like the over 7 in that game. Hey, Fiends, Lions, appreciate those likes coming. Appreciate the follows coming. Let's keep running it up. Braves, -1.5 run line plus Braves over 4.5 team total. This is a 2-leg same game parlay, -110 for 1.1 units. Isaiah, appreciate the follow. Not really going to overthink this play. You're getting around -170 on the -1.5, so I don't love taking that standalone, but I do like taking that with the over 4.5. It's better value because the only situation where -2.5 would play better is in a 4-0, 4-1, or 3-0 game. Very few opportunities where you get better value on the -2.5. We like the Braves. Ride with them. Let's get it. And then last play, we got Nationals money line. You're going to get this at about -115 for 1.15 units to win 1. Pittsburgh started hot with 4 straight wins. They're a little bit overvalued. I've said this before. I don't believe in hot in baseball. I don't believe in teams going on big streaks. I think each individual game is a reset. You have a different pitcher. You have different matchups. Hitters facing different pitchers. Everything is different. Start clean. From a roster perspective, from a pitching matchup perspective, I like the Nats, and you're getting extra value in this spot because of the overvalued hot Pirates. That doesn't mean anything. The Nats are a better team. Give me the Nats. And we got a really high strikeout rate from Gore, which it plays especially well against a team like Pittsburgh. Orioles and Mets money line. I wouldn't do that. Appreciate the likes. Appreciate the follows. Everyone who got involved. We do this every single day, Monday through Friday. We're live on here. We're live on Twitch, 12:30 Eastern time. Get involved. Hop on the SoBet for plays every single day. Hop on the Discord to know when I'm going live, what I'm doing, hang out, whatever. Get involved, baby. Let's run it up today. Let's win some money. Love all you, except for the ones I hate. Cheers.